Uh, welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. We were just on the topic. And
Oh, wow. That is a cool setup.
when my wife was using the studying the AI class, she used all three screens. She has actually three. I can hook up my laptop to three screen. Right now, I'm only using two screen.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I thought of that.
Yeah, we were saying how, speaking in public, right? For some of us, we have fear or anxiety when speaking in public. We'll see if we can discuss that in the using the language of the human construct. When we fear speaking in public, what is it that we're interested in? Is it not the need for a certain identity and appearance? We
Hmm.
have certain desire in imagination, okay, desire in imagination about appearance and identity. If and we have a certain perception, okay, uh, or lack of perception, it is a delusion more like, okay, we have certain perception about our appearance and our identity, and if that perception of appearance and identity is kind of negative, it causes a certain sense of doubt within us, okay, um, and as a result, we experience that thing called fear. We fear that people would laugh at us, would threaten our sense of identity. We fear that people would, criticize us, or anything that has to do with our appearance. So it comes from the human nature. It is the interaction between different aspects of our human nature that give rise to this emotion. Fear of public speaking is pretty much our sense of identity and our sense of appearance, right? And in a way, a sense of rest. We want to rest. We want to be at ease, yet we don't feel at ease. That lack of rest, that anxiety, give us a sense of anxiety and nervousness. Let me close the door. There's a loud noise outside.
So,
And so, how can we be free of it? Okay. So this is where the good part comes in. Okay. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Okay. What is this truth, and how can we set ourselves free from fear, free from anxiety, free from worry, free from suffering? Okay. And so, working on this human construct, let's see if we can free ourselves. Oh, I'm about to run out of paper. Let me get some more paper as well. Okay. Let's see if we can free ourselves from pain and suffering, from fear and anxiety. So going back to the human construct, going back to this inner being. This time we're going to draw a very simple representation of the human construct. We're not going to label everything, but we will label the truth within us, which is the will to hear, the will to see, the will to speak, and the will to know. Okay, that is wrapped up in a very highly balanced, high energy of light. Okay. And outside of that, we're going to draw another circle, but not a complete circle just yet. Leave a gap like that. Another one. Leave another gap. Okay, and what we're going to do is draw a tunnel from the outside in, looking like that.
I like this part.
Okay.
I like this part.
You like this part, okay? Okay. This inside part, we call it our true self. Okay, our true nature, our true self, our Buddha nature, our God nature. This next layer around us, outside of that, all of this stuff, this human nature part, we're going to call it the mind, right? Or you can call it the ego mind. Ego mind. Outside of that is the emotion. Okay, there's a body too, but let's not complicate things. Okay, we're just going to work with our mind and our emotion. It is with our mind that we use to analyze things. And we distinguish. Okay, it is with our mind, which is made up of our personality, our judgment, temperament, desire, all of these things we use to analyze and we judge, like or dislike. Okay, good or bad. We analyze and distinguish. With the emotion, as human being, we use our emotion mostly to react. Okay, we say that we react with our emotion and we analyze with our mind. When we receive any kind of message from the external world, it could be something that somebody say, or we read a news, or we see an image, we simply call it a message from the outside world in. So let me ask you, which of these layers is it our true nature, or is it our human nature? Is it our inner being or our mind or our emotion that receives the message first? Is it our inner being this interior stuff, or is it our ego mind, or is it the layer of our emotion? And right now, we're just working on 3A layer to make it simple. Which layer received the message first?
The first layer, the will.
The will. Do you agree with that, Ron and Morgan? Is it the case that our will, that our true nature, our true self, will receive the message first? Yeah. In fact, we will hear and see something before our mind will analyze and decide what it is that we just see and hear. And only after we have analyzed and distinguished it that we react and have an emotional reaction to it, that we like it or we dislike it, and we become angry or not at it. So if somebody was to call it, let's say, stupid. Okay, somebody say, "You're stupid, Frank." It is the case that I will hear or see the word stupid before my mind will decide that, oh, it is the word stupid. It will start to analyze and distinguish, okay, does that person mean it or did they not mean it? Do I believe or do I should not believe? Is it right or wrong or true or false? And then I will have an emotional reaction to it, depending on my disposition, okay, depending on my temperament, depending on my desire for appearance and identity, depending on my pride, and depending on my ethic and judgment, I will respond to that person maybe cruelly or benevolently. But it is always the case that the message will come in and we will hear it and see it truly before we react to it or before we think about it. So when on the level of the inner being, we say that we welcomely receive. Okay, welcomely receive. It is our reception, right next to the high energy polarity of the inner being. Okay, this is our inner being. This is our mind. This is our emotion. We welcomely receive it. But here's the thing, we never notice that. Most of the time, when somebody says something like call us stupid, or somebody say that you're so beautiful, instantly our mind jumps in and our emotion jumps in. Right? Our mind jumps in, our emotion jumps in. And that time between the welcomely receive, the true seeing and hearing, the time between that reception and the time of analysis and reaction is so small that we almost don't realize that we have that space. Why? Because the demon have hidden it so deep. And we have the tendency to look outside for things. We look outside for happiness. We look outside for peace until we forget that we have the truth within us already. And so in order to experience that space of emptiness, all we got to do is wait. When somebody says something or when we see something, a message enter, we just hear it, see it, and then wait. Allow that space of emptiness to spread out. And when we receive it, welcomely receive it as the truth it is, it's just a message. And we don't charge it with a positive or negative analysis. We don't charge it with a positive or negative emotion. Then we feel peace. Then when we're standing in front of a crowd, we don't see the crowd because the essence of all things is empty. There's no crowd. There's no other people judging us because the essence of all things is empty. And if we can initiate this space, emptiness of being, then all things is essentially empty, and there's no need to fear anything because it doesn't take on the emotion and it does not take on the mind. No need for fear, no need for anxiety, but only if we notice the truth within us. Okay, so the way to do that is you just kind of pay attention. Okay, you pay attention to the already always hearing and the already always seeing. If we notice that, okay, I'm already always hearing and I'm already always seeing, then whatever comes in is just a message. We wait, we don't let the emotion in the mind attach itself any positive or negative charges yet. And then that space is just, it's freeing, okay? It's light. There's no heaviness when there's no positive or negative charge. And the benefit of welcomely receiving any message that comes in is serenity. Okay, true inner peace. No oscillation, no positive or negative polarity oscillation. It doesn't jump up and down. We're not happy because somebody called us stupid. We are not sad or angry because somebody's called us stupid, because it's nothing. A message is only something when we assign a meaning to it. But a message is nothing if we notice that we are hearing and we notice that we are seeing. And it becomes completely freeing that way. We're not attached to the emotion and the mind. Okay? And if the mind jumps in and starts to analyze, okay? If the mind jumps in, it's so small, we haven't practiced long enough. You know, later on we will learn about a special type of energy. Okay, we'll learn about a special type of energy that will determine how long we can maintain this space of serenity. But let's say it falls down to the level of the analysis and the distinction. We have to start to analyze and think about it. And when that happens, we initiate magnanimity. Okay, it is a state of being generous and tolerant with other people. Yes, they said something and it's called stupid, but I can be magnanimous about it. I can be tolerant about it. I can give them I can be generous with them about it and just allow it to come in. You go back to welcomely receive. We didn't have enough spiritual and wisdom energy to experience serenity, inner peace immediately. It fell down to the level of analysis, but we can consciously choose to analyze it in a positive way. Doesn't matter what people say or did. Okay, that is what they said, but that's it. That's what they said. We don't need to attach any more negativity to it. We just realize that, okay, they just said the word stupid, S-T-U-P-I-D. And then we can go back to paying attention to the already always hearing, already always seeing. And we will feel some resemblance of inner peace. Not true inner peace, but still a pretty good degree of it. Our anxiety will go down. And we don't charge with any more emotion, okay? But if we happen to fall into the emotion immediately, maybe we are so used to reacting so bad, and the emotion is negative, we become angry, we become suspicious, we become all the things that are negative, then we can initiate, consciously, we can initiate a different type of emotion, a positive emotion. the emotion of honoring gratitude. If I'm sitting here and I'm sharing and somebody say, Frank, what you're saying is stupid. I don't believe you. If I fail to receive that serenely, if I fail to be tolerant of that person's comment, and I fell down into the layer of the emotion and I start to feel something, I can switch it back to feel honored and grateful. I am grateful for your presence, even if what you said didn't agree with me. I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn and improve myself, even if what you said didn't agree with me or, caused me some kind of emotional response. And so essentially, I have just given you the key to overcome all life's problems. At any time when anything comes in, a message from the external world, we can initiate 3 different energy. Inner peace, be at peace with it. Welcomely receive it. Okay, thank you. That's it. That's all we need to know. We don't need to analyze it. We don't need to feel anything. Failing to do that, we can be tolerant with people about it. Or magnanimous. Magna means great. Animus means spirit, a great spirit, a spirit so big that you can tolerate and be generous with people. And we initiate the energy of honoring gratitude. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your opinion. That's what it means to take ownership of our inner being. That is what it means to take ownership of the inner seed. And when we can master and take ownership of the inner seed within us, we already learned the tool called the formula for the root cause of life, right? We took ownership of the inner seed within us, which is the mental images, what we see, what we hear, what we know, what we speak. This is another way that we can take ownership of our inner seed from a religious and spiritual perspective. We recognize that there is a truth within us that never changes. We are always already hearing, we're always seeing, and just kind of pay attention to that. Notice it. And when we discover it, it's become freeing. We're no longer tied by the pain of the mind and the emotion. Honoring gratitude in the emotion, magnanimity in the mind, serenity in the inner being. Do you get that? Yeah, that is why it is said, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Same thing with being positive, right? Somebody say something positive. Immediately, in general, we generally enjoy things when it's positive. Somebody complimented and how good we look. Okay? And yeah, if you want to, you can enjoy it. But you will learn that if we enjoy it too much, that's actually going to use up some of our good fortune and then we will not actually have it. So the best thing is to, okay, we're like, okay, thank you for complimenting me and go straight to serenity. Just be at peace with it, whether it's a positive message or it's a negative message. Okay. So with these 4 energy, okay, I think we share about the how to overcome darkness earlier. Okay, we said that. We can repeat that. If any time we experience anger and resentment, okay, these come from the human nature, not our true nature. Anytime we experience anger or resentment, we want to, hang on, let me see. Yeah, whenever we experience anger or resentment, we want to initiate magnanimity with people. Okay, we're usually angry about somebody. We're angry and resentful toward ourselves. Be magnanimous to ourselves. Be generous and tolerant. That's what magnanimity is about. Okay, we'll talk in details about what that means when we get to the energy of wisdom. Okay, here we haven't started to light up those candles in our house of holistic health just yet. We're still working on fundamental frame of references. When we experience anger and resentment, usually about ourselves or with another people, you can slash that and initiate magnanimity. If we experience, I think I got that wrong. Hang on. Resentment and blame. Okay, so let's do that again. These resentment and blame goes together, and then okay. So resentment usually goes together with blame. Okay, we're blaming ourselves, we're blaming other people. The other one is anger. Oftentimes, anger is associated with some delusion. We don't know the fact about something, and so we quickly jump to conclusion and become anger. It is a lack of clarity. When we experiencing any kind of pain or suffering, okay, so the three energy that we want to initiate whenever we experience any kind of undesirable state within ourselves, okay, with resentment and blame, we initiate honoring gratitude. Honoring gratitude. With anger and delusion, we make sure we want to be magnanimous. Okay. When we're experiencing pain and suffering, initiate the energy of serenity, which is inner peace. And we already give you the formula on how to do that. Okay. Whenever anybody says something, when we hear a news, we read an article, we see an image, and we feel some negative emotion, where minds start to go negative, just first welcomely receive it. Even if it's negative, even if, okay, I'm feeling negative, I'm angry. Okay, just take that. At that moment, just acknowledge that that is what we get. Acknowledge that at that moment, that is where we are. And then we can use the map to navigate. Okay. And the map points us to serenity if you can. If not, go toward magnanimity, go toward honor and gratitude. Okay. Let's see. Okay, everything that we do, all of our successes in life, all the outcome in life begins with a single thought, a single intention. Okay. If we allow ourselves to begin with a positive intention, then that intention will spread out. First, it initiate in here, and then it spread out through our human nature, our personality. It would take on whatever nature it is that is natural to us. If our intention is positive, then it would take on positive charge as it spreads out, and we will eventually experience positivity. If we maintain a lot of negativity, we will experience negativity in return. In general, desire and imagination is the focus of human nature. Instead of desiring for ourselves, being selfish, initiate the intention of desiring for other people. We may begin studying this for ourselves. I have pain and I have suffering and I want to help myself. But if we keep on focusing on ourselves, what we're doing is we're going very, very negative. Even though we're trying to learn this material, this transformative material, this wonderful knowledge here, but if we are so focused on ourselves, on helping ourselves, guess what? We are taking on a lot of negativity. We are taking a lot of negative charge within our human inner being. And if we take on a lot of negative charge, guess what? We're going to continue to experience negativity in our outer world. So let go of the need to help ourselves. Initiate the need to help other people. Learn this in order to help my children, my friend, my coworker, my colleague, the world. And when the world and my family and my organization is benefited, then I, being a part of that world, will also benefit. So think of yourself as a side fringe benefit as opposed to being the focus of benefit. It is a misconception that say that I have to work on myself first before I can help the world. It actually doesn't work that way, because the more you focus on yourself, the more you go negative. You take on a lot of negative charge in your human nature, and desire being the strongest focus of human nature. And if we're constantly go to work on ourselves, self-improvement, then we're just going to focus on ourselves and we take on a lot of negative charge, our life will continue to experience negativity. Negativity equates to undesirable outcome in life. I hope that is a point of transformation for some of you. Okay? Of course, if we focus on trying to go positive, that's good too. But it's not as great as maintaining balance. Because the way the human nature works is deep inside of us, this true nature is high energy, highly balanced. Like light wave, very tiny little vibration, very high frequency. And as a result, it can go very far, very fast. But as it spreads out, it slows down. The energy vibration slows down. We go positive, we go negative, and it takes a long time to get back into balance. Our body is the lowest vibrational energy. That's why when we get sick, it takes a long time to become healthy again. If we're angry, we can be angry in the morning and be happy, and joyful at night. Our emotion is a little faster. Our mind is even faster. A single thought can change in an instant. But no thought, that's super high. And the benefit of no thought, the benefit of emptiness, the benefit of balanced energy is that as it spreads out throughout our entire human nature, our personality becomes balanced, our emotional becomes balanced, our body becomes balanced. And over time, we become healthier and happier. All thanks to inner peace, all thanks to the truth within us. And that is how the truth will set you free. Okay. So if we are to initiate any desire from this moment on, desire in a positive direction. Anytime we think, align our thinking along a positive desire, not a negative desire. Okay, we're reviewing all the principles that we've learned so far. If we have nothing better to do, think about the 7 holistic wealth. Think about what it means to raise our wisdom. Think about what it means to improve our attitude, our character. Think about what it means to be a person of integrity with physical vitality, with capability. If we got nothing better to do and all you have to do is think, just think about the 7 holistic health or 7 holistic wealth. Okay? And if we have to do something, do things that are altruistic, desiring for the benefit of other people. Do things that help people become satisfied instead of anger. The marketing world is very good. They always focus on satisfying our need for consumption, our need for appearance, our need for identity, our need for rest. That's why they make a lot of money. That's why they can attract a lot of positivity in the form of money by satisfying our basic needs. If you have to do something, help other people become clear in their perception, their wisdom, their knowledge. Help other people become more trusting, be benevolent, be good, be open-minded. Those are more active things when you have to do anything. Okay. And use the formula. I give you 2 formulas already, right? The root cause formula, which begins with the outcome in mind. We go all the way, instead of taking the round trip, all we gotta do is create new positive images that will immediately affect our choices in life, that will give us positive outcome. And then the second formula or the second map is the human construct. Draw this map 200 times if you have time. Each time we draw the map, what we're doing is we are creating clear mental images about our true self. We will start to understand how to navigate our human nature and how to more simply arrive at the destination that is inner peace. Work on the principle of mental activation all the time. Whenever we encounter another person, start to review that interaction. What do we learn from that interaction? What do we get out of it? What's applicable to me? Did I realize anything? Review the principle of the circle of knowledge. Especially if we have the desire, if we have an altruistic desire to help other people. If we have an altruistic desire to help other people, then we have no choice but to practice the principle of circle of knowledge. We can only use what people know to help them understand. And the only way to know what people know is to ask them with humbleness and authentic desire to know. Okay, humbleness is part of pride and humility, humbleness or humility. So that is also a positive energy that attracts positivity in our life. And when we ask a person with humbleness and authentic desire to know, and they answer, they give us the answer, we gotta listen. Right, we gotta listen. And if we don't listen properly, we're not going to know. So this is how we listen. Okay, listen with our physical ear, hear what they say, see if we can repeat what they say in our mind immediately. Hear with our eyes, look at them, see how they react. Our perfect eye, perfect sight, divine seeing. In unity with our heart. Listen with our heart. Listen with our whole being. Listen with our humanity, which is our loving kindness. And only then we will come to know the person. And when we have incorporated what they know into our knowledge expand. And so when we speak, we're speaking from their own knowledge. It is simple to help a person know when we establish the belief. Okay. You can go back to all your notes. I don't have it in order. Establish their belief so that we can help them understand. If their belief is more like a person who is very scientific, we use the root cause formula. All right, just go step by step. Yeah, okay. What are your outcome in life? What is the direct cause of the outcome in life? Your choices. Help a person come to the realization that the root cause of life begin with themselves as a result of their choices. And whatever the choices they've made is because they like it or because they are compatible with it, and they don't need to blame themselves for it. It is not their fault. And if they can take ownership of their life, then they can begin to change their life. A person who takes no ownership of their own choices we can't help them. They blame other people. Blaming other people and saying, here's my life, please change it for me. Right? How does that work? Hi, doctor, please change my life for me. Doctor can only remove our illnesses, but doctor cannot make us healthy. Okay. Another person can temporarily give us some sort of positive energy. They may say something nice to us, and we will feel good temporarily. But if we constantly look for outside, we constantly look for other people and circumstances to make it feel good and be happy, then we will forever be lost in the sea of the human nature. It is only when we redirect ourselves to where the compass point, deep within the truth within ourselves, where we will find the ultimate treasure, inner peace, liberation from suffering. And the principle of light is always at work. We have no choice but to obey it or not obey it. It is always at work. It's, if we can replace negativity with positivity, right? We replace anger and resentment, resentment and blame with, resentment and blame with honoring gratitude. That is the principle of light. Don't try and remove the resentment and blame. Just replace it with honoring gratitude. In front of my computer at work, I have a little sticker note that says, be grateful for something, or someone right now. I have a little sticker in front of my computer at my workplace. It just says, be grateful for something, someone right now. When somebody does something and we feel that they have offended us, don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on the resentment or blame or the anger and delusion. Just shift your focus on being grateful for something. I'm grateful to be alive enough to feel the pain. I'm grateful enough to actually hear and see these things. There are people who have no eyes or ear. They can't even hear or see a word of insult. If a coworker or a boss reprimands us, be grateful that we have a job in the first place. Once you have dispelled the resentment and blame by replacing it with honoring gratitude, then we can raise our level to magnanimity. Instead of being angry at another person, we can choose to be generous and magnanimous toward them. And so we can choose to raise our own energy level from honoring gratitude to magnanimity. And then we can choose to let all of that go and experience inner peace. Some of us are fortunate enough to experience inner peace right away. That's a different approach. We'll discuss that later. But if not, then we can start from You know, if some of us are so stuck in the emotion, then we can at least begin by using the emotion of honor and gratitude, raise our level step by step. Okay. Yeah. Let me think if I should with 10 minutes left. Let's not talk about the next part. So I think that we can end here so that Ron and Jihua can go on to your important meeting. Okay. I'm very grateful that you guys have taken the time. We spent almost 12 hours. Time went by pretty fast, right? We got a lot of value out of that. I got a lot of value out of that. Okay. And we'll begin again tomorrow, 7 a.m. Okay. You guys have a great night. Take care.
Thank you so much, Frank. That was
Mhm.
awesome of good information. Even it's you know, summarize. It's a lot of good things that it's how is it more simple to understand. You guide step. Then what is the next step? What is the next step? So
Yeah,
really
that is a
enjoy.
concept. Yeah, that in coaching and you know mentoring, right? You're all studying to be mentor in coaching. That is the guidance, the step-by-step guidance from one logical step to another. You have to tie from one logical step to another. The information, as I said, all these words, we already know all of these words, but it is the structuring of the words and the concept, the step by step, that will peel back the layers of the onion. So as you go through, you're studying the mentor program, you're exposing to this knowledge. Don't spend so much time worrying about accumulating all the information. You get overwhelmed. Just focus on that what you know and learn to practice to express it in such a way that is simple to understand and that you can walk another person one step to another, to another, to another. It is a logical progression. Everything here is logic, right? It is a logical progression.
Thank you so much, Frank. The perception of time went by very fast.
Yeah, we'll learn about the perception of time.
It didn't feel like 12 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm very grateful for your sharing. Thank you.
Okay, alrighty.
Yeah, and I really it was the aha moment when you said from almost at the beginning is that we're not learning about the information, we're learning the transformation.
Okay, so for you, the point, the little comment about transformative knowledge versus informative knowledge was a moment of realization. Okay.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's not I'm going for an academic course, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind.
We continue to learn what we need to learn at the academic school. Okay, those are worldly knowledge. We need those to
Yes.
survive in this world, to work, okay, to function in this society. But it is the transformative knowledge that will raise our quality of life to another level. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to escape from suffering. We're trying to stand above life's difficulties.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay, you guys take care.
Yeah, I look forward to tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the
Okay.
morning.
Enjoy your
Alrighty.
evening. Thank you, Morgan and everyone.
Yeah.
Thank
okay,
you.
Those
Thank
of
you
you who
to
come a
Frank.
little later, Morgan, do you have anything to share? What are your impression and realization? Okay, you got to activate your brain.
Yeah, let's talk about tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay.
But thank
I
you
would
so much. Thank
Okay,
you.
you guys take care. I just want to say I'm grateful to Ms. Nguyễn Hoàng Hân, Ms. Motor Hayen. We are about to end today's session. We will begin tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, that is going to be 9 p.m. in Vietnam. Okay, I know some of you it's in the evening. But before we say goodbye, any Ms. Motor Hayen or Hun, do you have any question or anything that you would like to ask or raise before we say goodbye? I know you didn't was not here for most of it, but is there anything that have been bothering you? How about this? Which area of life, you can type it in the chat, or you can speak if you can open your camera. Which area of life do you want to work on transforming? An area of life could be your inner being. An area of life could be your finance, your relationship, your health. Okay.
She's chatting you, Frank.
Yeah. Hello?
She's chatting you. She said,
Yeah, I'm
thank you
looking
so
at the
much.
chat. I'm looking at Miss Mota Hayen. Okay, so she said, thank you so much. I'm following your YouTube channel to replay. That's good. So those live recordings should be on the YouTube channel already. But while we are interacting, I want you to, if you can, go ahead and type in the chat, because I want to know which areas of life are you interested in working on? Is it your health that is concerning for you? Is it your relationship with somebody? Or is it your finance that you want to transform? Same question for Miss Nguyen Hoàng Hân. Health. Okay. One for your health. Okay, good. Okay, that helped me know where you stand so that I can help you understand a little bit better. Okay. Finance. Okay, so earlier today, I wasn't sure if anybody is interested in finance, but with the understanding on finance, I can speak a little bit about finance. Chị Ron, chị Hoa and Ron, when you need to leave, just go ahead and leave. For the next half an hour or so, let me just share a little bit about finance. Okay. So when it comes to finance, where's my, okay. I'm going to say the word money. Okay. Traditionally, what do we use money for? What do we use money to do?
To survive.
To survive, right? To survive. Yeah. To pay for stuff. Money is a resource. That is a very basic common understanding. Money is a resource. We use it to buy things, to survive, to get where we want. But really, what we really want with money is to improve our quality of life. Okay, when we think about that, it expands our awareness and perception a little bit. Whereas previously, we just think money is to buy things and to survive. It's very narrow. But now we think, oh yeah, what we're really interested in is quality of life. We buy things in order to improve the quality of our life. If we have money to buy a new car, we have money to buy a new house, new clothing, for some people, new relationship. Why? Because ultimately, we want to improve the quality of our life. Yeah, to pay for debt. Okay. Okay, Ms. Hayen said you use money to pay for debt. Okay. Being in debt is a negative quality of life, right? And to pay for your debt is to raise your quality of life. But we have already learned about the principle of light. If we focusing on solving the problem of life, then the problem is just going to come back. If all we think about is to use money or raise money to make money just to pay for debt, we're going to be stuck in that mode of always going after money in order to pay for debt. But ultimately, paying for debt is what for? Is either is in order to improve our quality of life. So when we think about quality of life, we think about several areas. We think about health. Because what's the point of paying our debt if we don't get better health? What's the point of paying our debt if we don't experience a more positive inner being? Okay. Inner being being our emotion, our mind. If our mind doesn't experience peace, then there's no point. When we use money to improve our quality of life, what we're really interested in is our social relationship. Because if all we're focusing on our debt, that's actually focusing on the darkness. Okay. And even if we were to make enough money to pay for our debt, if we don't have health, if we don't have a positive inner being, if we don't have good social relationship, then what's the point of paying the debt? Ultimately, paying the debt, in your case, is so that we can have the kind of quality of life of health, inner being, and social relationship. Would you agree? Yeah, right? It is this that's really important. It's not the debt. Okay. Yeah, it is the quality of life that our health, our inner being, our social relationship that is important. Now, it turns out the people who have positive quality of life, they have good health, they have good inner being, they have good relationship. Guess what? Those people tend to attract more money. If you're happy and healthy, it is more simple for you to go to work, create, do a business or whatever, and make more money. On the other hand, if your health is poor, if you're depressed, if you have no friends and no connection, basically no quality of life, how are you going to make money? So there's this cycle that's going on. Money is used to improve the quality of life. The quality of life will help us bring in more money. But here is the difference between common people who think about money in this small circle versus the really, really rich people. The really, really rich people are the people who create value for society. Okay? They use their money not only to improve their quality of life, but they use their money to create value for society. And when they create value for society, society gives the money. That is what it means to do a business. A business create value in the form of product or services. The more people and that you create value for, and the quality of that value will determine how much money you get back. Right? A person who simply goes to work and is paid an hourly wage will make certain money. But that amount of money is exactly equal to the amount of value that you create. The people who own a business, on the other hand, create a lot more value, and therefore they receive a lot more money. So I invite you to expand your perception of money. Instead of just making money to pay your debt, see if you can create value so that you can generate more money. And then not only will you pay off the debt, but you can improve the quality of your life in health, inner being, and social relationship. Okay. But when you create value for society, you improve not only your quality of life, but you also improve standard of living for people. Okay. That's what it means. Standard of living. When we create value for people, we improve the standard of living. The super rich people, like let's say Bill Gates, he didn't just sell computer. He had a mission to put a computer in every house across the world. The mentality of a person who creates value is different from the mentality of a person who is just only interested in finding money. When Bill Gates created the Microsoft company, he had a vision of creating value that equates to having everybody in the world have access to the computer. Everybody in the whole world. When the people of the Apple company, Steve Jobs, they came up with the iPhone, they had a vision of creating value for everybody in the world in such a way that everybody will have a smartphone and they're able to communicate with their loved one and see them. So the bigger your vision, yeah, you say have big vision. The bigger your vision, the bigger value that you can create for the world, the higher the standard of living that you can raise for other people, the more money you're going to make. The higher the quality of your life, greater health, greater inner being, greater social relationship. Different than simply trying to make money to pay off debt. Right? And so, so you can begin to ask yourself the kind of question that will give you the kind of reality or realization in life. Okay, so here's an interaction that we had earlier today about realization. The point in our life with which we experience a change comes from the point of realization. Once we realize something, we have a new understanding about that thing. We experience a transformation in our mindset, the way we think, which changes our behavior and it changes the outcome in life. That realization comes from inquiry. We ask the kind of question that bothers us. And the inquiry has a positive and negative. If we ask, oh, why am I so poor? That's a negative inquiry. Why am I always in debt? That's a negative inquiry. That's going to guarantee you will continue to experience negative outcome because you will realize, you will come up with all the answer to why you're poor or you're in debt. But if you shift the inquiry to how I can become totally rich, ask with positive question in mind, yes. But a small inquiry will lead to small realization. A small inquiry like, how do I get out of debt, will give you a small realization, and yes, you may get out of debt, but that's it. Your quality of life won't improve until you start asking the bigger question, like, how do I bring value to 1 million people and bring in $1 million a month? When you ask the kind of inquiry that is positive, in alignment with your desire, and the bigger the question, the bigger the realization, the bigger the change in life. That is the principle of alignment with desire with respect to finance. Okay. And then we had earlier, we had an interaction on the formula for the root cause of life. Let me see if I can still find it. This is a little review at the end of the day for those who come a little later. Okay, so this is called the formula for the root cause of life. Okay, our outcome in life. If you're working on, removing your debt, then you're experiencing some outcome that is, I would say, undesirable, right? Negative outcome, debt. Financial debt is a negative outcome. My question is, do you realize that those debt have come about as a series of choices that you've made? And have you accepted that the root cause of life begins with me? Okay, so have you accepted that? Do you blame anybody for that? Okay, did you blame anything for your debt? Ms. Moulter Hyen, have you taken responsibility for the outcome of your life with respect to debt, financial debt? I'm trying to find that word, but that's okay. I don't have it. The only way that we can liberate ourselves from financial debt is to first come to the realization that the root cause of life begins with me. If I'm in financial debt, it is because I have made the choices that have led to those debts. And I don't need to blame myself for that, because at the moment that I've made those choices, that is the best that I know. Right? The best that I know. If I had better knowledge, then I would have made different choices and I would have different outcome. But at this moment in time, if I'm in debt, then it is the best that I know, and it's okay. You can initiate the human construct and experience, serenity, peace with it. Just welcomely receive the fact that, okay, I'm in debt. Those are my choices, and my choices is a compatible match with who I am at that moment in time. And it's okay. But with the formula for the root cause of life, it says that we can change our outcome. We can change our outcome by changing the choices. And in order to change the choices, what we need to do is change our belief. Whatever belief that we had about money, we can change that. And the belief is made up of mental images, which is made up of what we hear, what we see, what we say, what we know. So at the beginning of this interaction, you say that, let me check back and say, you say that you have a issue with finance and you're working on paying debt. Okay, that is what we say. I'm working on paying off my debt. You are focusing on the debt. But in the interaction of the principle of light, we say that if you focus on trying to fix the problem is not going to go away. It is only when we bring in the light into the room will the room become brightened. And so instead of saying, I'm working on paying the debt, now you have just switched to saying, I want to focus on creating value for people. Okay, so what are your beliefs about finance? I'm just curious, what do you know about finance? What do you know about finance? I want to hear what you say about finance. What are some words or feeling that comes up when you think about your finance? Go ahead and share that. What are some words that comes up? What are some mental images that come up when you think about finance? Okay, if it's not convenient to share, finance is energy. Okay, those are some very positive words Okay, we have to work for our energy. So someone else, Ms. Huang Hun, say we have to work for our money. That is what you say. We have to work for our money. So Ms. Hung, when you say we have to work for our energy or we have to work for our money, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about that statement? Does that statement give you hope? Does that statement make you tired? Is it a positive or negative feeling? Okay, so Ms. Motor is very positive. Okay, when you say that money is energy, that's good. So you have positive mental images about money, so you're on a good path. But Hun says some good, some bad. So you still have some mixed feelings about finance. Okay, so when you have mixed feelings about your finance, your mental images is not perfectly aligned just yet. Yeah. So we can go to work on changing some of those negative feeling to positive feeling. See if we can change some negative word to positive words. Because we have to work for our money. That is the phrase you said, we have to work for our money. That sounds kind of tiring. Right? Nobody want to work. Work is tiring. But the people who make a lot of money, they don't think of it as work. They think of it as play. They think of it as value creation. So instead of saying we have to work for our money, we can start shifting our mental images and think about how do we create value for other people. Because when we create value for other people, the value will come back to us in the form of money. The money can be used to improve the quality of our life. And with better quality of life, we can go out and make more money and make more money and make more value. It is a positively reinforcing cycle. And we can also apply the human construct. Okay, human construct, we have all of these. Money is part of resources, right? Human being, we have the desire for resources. We have the desire for money. We have imagination about resources. Now we're talking about money. If our present feelings, our inner state, right, our inner being about resources is partly negative and partly positive, then maybe we can go to work on some of those inner state. Our desire for money, is it negative? Are we desiring the money for ourselves? If we desire for money ourselves, it's going to be negative. We're going to start feeling bad if we don't have money. That's the easiest one to go with. When we desire for ourselves, when we are selfish, our inner state is negative. And when our inner state is negative, our external state, which is mean our reality, our life situation, is also negative. The simplest way to bring in money is to stop desiring it for yourself. Desire it for other people, to be positive in the desire. Altruism means other self. It is Latin word. Trui means self. Alt as in alternative, right? Other self. Desire for other self, desire for other people. Hence, create value for society. When you focus on other people creating value for society, we go positive in our human nature. And when our inner seed is positive, by the law of causality or cause and effect, positive inner seed will create positive outcome. You get that? Just change one thing. Most people desire for themselves. Yeah. And of course, we go to work on enriching ourselves in a non-materialistic way as well. Okay, so if just all we got to do is all we do is focus on our money, which is the roof of the house. That's just the roof of the house. Why do you know people who spend time and energy building the house from the top down? Right? What happened to people who spend a lot of time and money and effort in building their house from the roof? And if they were to neglect the health, they work and work and work and work to make the money, and the health goes down. They have to use their finance to pay for the health. They lose the finance. They get in greater debt. What happened if people who spend a lot of time and energy making money and they fail to take care of their relationship? Now, let's say they have a spouse and they don't take care of their relationship with their spouse, they end up with a divorce. When the relationship collapses, so does the finance collapse. And if you spend all the time and energy and effort in making money, and you don't take care of your inner being, our emotion, our attitude, our wisdom, our character, then everything collapses. And so when a person is experiencing negativity in their finance, we can say that maybe some other areas of life is being affected. Okay, maybe some other area. So we got to work on that. We don't worry so much about trying to fix the debt. Instead, go to work on advancing your wisdom, improving your attitude, work on your character, your integrity, your physical vitality, improve your capability. And we say that in our house of holistic health or our holistic wealth, if a person is holistically wealthy, which is rich in wisdom, attitude, rich in character, integrity, physical vitality, capability, if a person is rich, is holistically rich, it is impossible for them to be materially poor. If you are holistically rich, it is impossible to be materially poor. If we create value for other people, material riches will come our way. Okay, and I think that's a good conclusion, bringing everything back to the beginning. And I appreciate those of you who joined late, okay, for this little discussion on finance. Our earlier participant did not have the need for finance. Okay, do you guys have any other question before we say goodnight for today? We begin tomorrow at 7 a.m. in Pacific West Coast United States time, okay, which is 9 p.m. in Vietnam. Were you here the entire time, Morgan? Did you get that interaction on finance?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, but I'm just gonna add something. All those stuff that you mentioned, which is incredible and organized, and I believe it truly, and I miss some of them. But to me, a skill is really important, and is a number one. Without the skill, you cannot, make a money. A skill.
Skills, that's capability.
Yeah.
Capability.
That one is a number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But how are you going to be able to improve your capability if you have bad wisdom, bad attitude, and bad character? Earlier on, we have an interaction about the material riches versus the non-material riches. Remember? Let's see if I can still have it. Remember this part?
It's true.
Right?
Listen, we have to have a balance for all of them.
Yeah, we have to have a balance. We have to have all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, capability, the skills of making money.
Because I knew in my field, environment job, I know a lot of people doesn't have any of those, especially attitude, and they are very selfish. But because we have a high skill, they are still making a lot of money,
Sure.
then they
If
don't
that,
deserve it.
if that, no, that's if what you care about is just the roof of the house, then you can ignore wisdom, you can ignore character, you can ignore attitude, you can ignore integrity. You have a lot of money. But how long do you think your money will last without these? Do you know anybody who have a lot of money and in a single instant they will lose it all because they have
Yeah,
no integrity, they have no character? Yeah.
yeah,
You can go that way if you want. I'm not
yeah,
going to stop you from doing that, right?
yeah, correct.
People can inherit a fortune. They may even inherit the capability of making a lot of money. But a single misdeed, bad character or something like that, and somebody may sue them for the entire fortune. They get into some kind of scandal and they will spend the rest of their life fighting that scandal,
Correct.
and the money will go away.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So yeah, there are people with a lot of great capability of attracting money, and tomorrow we will talk about why and how some people enter into riches and others enter into this life into poverty. A question for Ms. Answer for Ms. Malta Hyen tomorrow, 9 p.m. Vietnam. Okay, we will begin at 7 o'clock in the morning, US time, but it is 9 p.m. Vietnam time. Okay, and you can follow on the YouTube channel. Okay, yeah. Are you in the Ms. Morton? Are you in the group? Are you in the Telegram group, the House of Holistic Health? Let me post that link. If you're not on there, you can click on this link and join the group. And then the group is where I will update the videos and stuff like that. Where's my group? Okay, let me see if I can manage group info link.
I think she left already, Frank, but I'm in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Good. I don't know how to reshare this group. Somebody can post the group for me. I don't. I'm using the computer version, and I don't know how to get the link of the group to post. Miss Motor Hayen, are you in the group yet? You're in the group yet? View group info. View group info. Oh, invite link. Here we go. Copy link. I'm going to paste this link into the chat, and you guys can just click on it if you're not already in the group. Okay. So yeah, people do lose their entire fortune if they have no integrity, no character, no attitude, and no wisdom. We see that all the time. So that's why we invite you to become holistically rich, not just financially rich. Rich in wisdom, rich in attitude, rich in character, and rich in integrity will guarantee that you will be rich in capability and material as well. That's why I keep on repeating that it is impossible to be materially poor when you are holistically rich. People and money will come flowing in when we go to work on the non-material aspect of our being. Okay, when we non-materialize ourselves in these bottom ones here. Our attitude and our physical vitality relates to our health. Our character and our capability, which is our ability to make money, also relate to our relationship. We go to work on our inner being, make sure our health and our relationship is strong to hold up this house, and our finance is going to be guaranteed. Unless we have bad fortune, and we will discuss what that means. Bad fortune, bad luck tomorrow. Okay? All righty. Have a good night. Let's see if we can start,
Thank you.
start on time tomorrow. Okay?
Thank
It's at
you.
7. Okay.
Thank you, Frank. Really appreciate for your time.
I am very honored by your presence and grateful for your participation. It helped me learn a lot as I share with you. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Take care. See
You
you.
have a wonderful night. Bye.